All right, what's up, everybody? Baseball After Dark time. I am sorry, I don't know exactly why my TikTok stream's not working tonight. I was just trying to troubleshoot that, but we'll just go without it. No big deal. All good. I'll have it recording in the vertical either way. So, I've now seen a few already requests for this. Earlier, I got a couple of requests in the Discord to watch Roki pitch the full outing from yesterday, so maybe we'll just start with that. I see Carlos wants that as well. Hope everybody's really good. Knicks, can I get some love for the Knicks? This is a comment from last night. But up 2-0, we're feeling good. We're feeling good about that. Got to keep that going. What's up, Mom? No Yankees Red Sox, right? That got rained out. So, unfortunately, that is the case. But yeah, I'll definitely watch the rest of the Roki game. I have no problem with that. But let's see exactly what is going on around the world of baseball tonight. Then we'll get into this. We'll get into this day. All right, so right now on the scoreboard, end of the fifth, Guardians are up 5-0 on the Rangers. That's Tanner Bybee on the mound tonight. Couple games haven't started yet. Yankees Red Sox was officially postponed. They'll play tomorrow 1:05. Mets Padres will be starting in about an hour. Brewers and Rockies are about to start. Angels and Dodgers again. Yamamoto on the mound tonight for the Dodgers. Here's the games that have finished up. Mariners shut out the Tigers. Bryce Miller should probably get watched today. He's actually been really shoving it. I didn't really realize to what extent, and he pitched great again today. So kind of leaning that direction. Royals 3, Twins 2. Looks like Bobby Witt Jr. with a big day, WPA-wise in that one. Cubbies edge out the Giants 3-2. PCA with 2 home runs in that game. Ben Brown again was great. Probably watched that. Lars Nootbaar, welcome back for the Cardinals, 6-5 over the Reds. Blue Jays over the Orioles. Jays needed that win. Louis Varland doing it. Pete Alonso with another home run in that one. White Sox 6, Phillies 3. Jacob Gonzalez had a big home run in that game for the White Sox. Astros beat the tar out of the A's. Tatsuya Imai was on the mound in that one, so maybe that's worth checking. Marlins over the Rays. Braves over the Pirates. Axcraft looks like maybe he didn't have his, finally had a game where he didn't dominate. And Nationals over the D-backs. So that's what's going on today. So there's only one game in progress. I do think it makes a little bit of sense to circle back to the Roki game for sure. Yankees were lucky today. Fortunately, Judge will be back for this postponed game. Also, this isn't going to be a doubleheader. They're going to do that. Very interesting. Andrew Fisher has a 9-game home run streak going on. What level is he at now? Has he been moved up to AA or AAA? Where is Andrew Fisher now? He's a good player. I could tell you that just by being around him for a few days. He's going to be a good player. He's going to be a good young player. And then I actually think I'm pretty, it's crazy because he has this wild man persona, but reputation. But I don't know, man. I thought he was a competitor, and I thought the head was on the shoulders. So I felt pretty good about him on that Team Italy situation. All right, so interesting that they got the postponement. That means Judge might be back when they play again, which we've actually experienced this before. I can think back to a game. It's crazy to think about this, but I've been thinking about this game. We were in Pittsburgh. This is a funny story a little bit. We were in Pittsburgh and I was with the Rockies, and there was rain in the forecast, and we had a bunch of guys hurt, and we were definitely going to be in the wild card hunt that year. Maybe it was 2016, so I hadn't come back yet from my Tommy John, but we had some injured guys that were coming back, circling back. The team looked like it was going to be pretty strong in the second half of that season. We had a poor matchup on the mound in a game, so we didn't fight very hard to play the game, knowing it would be postponed. We'd come back to Pittsburgh later with a better team intact. And I remember kind of talking, because, of course, Garrett Cole was the guy for Pittsburgh, and we weren't friends yet. maybe a little bit from union meetings or whatever. But I remember like kind of talking with him and feeling like I got away with one a little bit by getting the game completely postponed in a bad matchup for us. I think it was like AJ Burnett was on the mound for them. And for us, I think it was like a bullpen day. So I think we were like, we're probably not going to win this one. We weren't hitting very well at the moment. We didn't have all our guys, so we tried to postpone it. I still think we went back and lost though. I still think we lost the game. So it worked, but it didn't work. All right. So let's see here. ECU's Zach Agnos should be starting versus the Miz. Should be fun. Very interested to see how the Miz looks in Colorado tonight. I'm going to answer a few more of these, and then we'll jump into Roki. This is a by the way, but did you see what Manny Machado said about advanced stats the other day? Yeah, I commented on this in the Discord. Manny's actually has a very high baseball IQ, but the reality is like he's an old school type of player, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like in terms of like way he views it. I mean, honestly, he just sounds not that informed, and it also just looks it's always like when you go on a diatribe, it's nice if you have stats to back it up, and right now he's hitting under 200, so that doesn't help his case. It makes him not look great optically. But I mean, a lot of players just don't care. They just want to play the game. They want to get hits, score runs, drive in runs, win the game, like, and they don't have to think too deep of it. Also, he's incredibly naturally talented player. So for the most part, baseball's come easy to Manny relative to everybody else in the major leagues. So maybe he didn't have to dig in as hard as like a Joey Votto. Mitch also put up a cool video on Joey Votto talking about how he hired his own analyst in like 2015 or 14 or 13 or something to figure out how to be better at judging the strike zone. So, you know, there's multiple ways to have success is my point. You know, you can just not think and play, and maybe you can make that work, or you can think like a maniac and maybe make that work. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny. In a way, and of course he's taking a lot of shit in the comments section because he's hitting under 200. All right, so this is Andrew Fisher, still in high A with Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. He took Mason Miller deep this spring, and the Brewers' third baseman has a 500 OPS. I still feel like the fact that he's in high A doesn't make me feel great about him getting up very quickly. If he was in double A, I'd be like, man, he's doing the streak in double A. He's already sort of knocking on the door. He'll be up there sooner rather than later, though, and with him and Made is a pretty good left side of the infield combo. Speaking of minor league streaks, Mike Sirota has a 46-game on-base streak that he's carried over from A+. Now he's in Double-A now. That's my Northeastern guy, Mike Sirota. So, you know, I just walked so these guys could run, you know, Schlittler, Sirota, Savali, we know. I had to sign the Roki apology form twice. See, this is why you don't write anybody off too early. I've learned this lesson in my life. There was several players I played with in the minor leagues that I thought were bad players, and they ended up being good players, and I was dead wrong about them. So, you know, you learn that you got to give it a little more time. And I admit, Roki was lost, and we called it out. He was lost, but we also said there's a chart. You know, there's a way to getting back into a good moment, and the Dodgers have helped that. I mean, I think somebody pointed out in the Discord that it's really helped that. You know, some of the injuries like Snell, or for example, or he probably would have gotten booted out because at the moment he wasn't pitching better than Emmett Sheen or whatever. But nevertheless, they gave him opportunity to figure out, and you can see like, man, it's like the difference between being bad and good sometimes is really slim. And I know he's made a lot of adjustments, but the biggest one's probably up here and just the way he's attacking. But we're going to watch him in a minute. Georgia 13-12 over Mississippi State, one of the better games I've watched. Saw that. That was crazy. I didn't watch all of it, but that one was pretty wild. Could you get Votto on one day? Love hearing him break down hitting on MLB Now. I think a convo with you two would be great. I mean, I don't know Joey, but like we both work NBC now. I mean, I'm sure at some point we'll have a conversation as the show continues to grow and more people will want to come in. Don't forget Luis Pena. Speaking of Brewers prospects, Sheehan Whip is creeping down now at 117. I think Sheen's a good pitcher, but again, like Roki would have been out had that not been the case. All right, let's check the NCAA scoreboard for today. Now that you reminded me that there was college baseball games today, so this is what we have today. This is what we have today. West Virginia punched their way to the College World Series today, 17-1 over Cal Poly. Carolina as well, 4-0, complete game shutout in that game. Saw that posted in the Discord by Carl. This game was the crazy one. Georgia and Mississippi State, 13-12. Mitch has informed me that home runs are happening at a way crazier rate in this tournament than should be happening. So we think maybe the NCAA juiced the balls or something. But it's crazy. The whole thing's crazy. So yeah. So I saw this. I was thinking about clipping this and like putting it as like a social thing, like shout out Joey Votto, appreciate you, but I'm a little worried that I'm about to get Wally pipped by him once he goes to the inside the pitch job for NBC, and then I'm going to be shit out of luck there. But we'll see. I don't know why the box score is not loading for this game, but needless to say, there was a lot of runs scored. All right, what else? Troy, this happened today. I think Troy punched their way to the College World Series with that win, 7-2. Ole Miss over Auburn. And then we have a couple games in progress right now. Oklahoma's beating up on Kansas. Oregon is losing to Texas 4-0 in the third. And St. John's and Alabama have just started in the bottom of the first. So, yeah. We'll be here for you. Don't worry. I appreciate you guys. All right. Well, so on the coffee cups, I re-edited the site today, and I have NCAA tournament now. Now it's weird. I couldn't fetch the. I think this is the old code. Hold on, I need to fetch a new fresh baseball and coffee. Hold on. It's what's weird is in the NCAA, they don't fetch. Damn, it's weird. I had it up on my computer earlier, so now I'm gonna have to fix that again later. But they don't fetch home runs, which is weird. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, all right, it's time to look at Roki Sasaki. We watched the first 2 innings, but we'll just watch him over again, I guess, because you want to watch it all the way through. He ends up going. What does he end up going? 7 innings. 2 hits, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts on 98 pitches. ERA is almost under 4 now. Detmer's also pitched quite well in this game. No Ernie's versus the Dodgers. He's been trending pretty well. Did he throw any fork balls last night, Roki, or did he just stick with the split? Well, they have him down for 2 forks. Everything else, they have him down for splits. So, I mean, again, it's just the ability to command the split. The 4-seam shape has held up over the last 4 starts. And everything's looking good. So you guys already know the narrative. You already know the narrative that all of a sudden he's got more pitches and better fastball. And he's also throwing with much more confidence and conviction. That's 72% first pitch strikes. That's 73% strikes overall. And it's very evident when you watch the video. So this actually, I think I already have the game here. And here it is, Roki Sasaki. So we'll watch it from the beginning. And we'll just and we'll just go from there. Sorry, Victoria. So it's a show pitch now, the forkball. I mean, I don't think it's a show pitch as much as he's just not using it as much right now because the splitter's super effective the last few games, and obviously he should lead with that more because he can control it. But I think the fork will be a part of it. There'll be certain times where he'll want to throw the knuckleball, forkball in a certain matchup, especially if he wants to slow the guy down a little more with the fork. So obviously we've seen the first 2 innings. We know he destroys everybody. This is actually a really fun at-bat between him and Trout. 2 good fastballs to lead it off. Then a bunch of close chase pitches that Trout does a great job with, including this one, which is damn near perfect. And then, I mean, he's just going right after him. Bunch of fastballs. Able to pitch to a scouting report a little bit. And then once he's shown him enough heat, here comes a perfect splitter. And he threw a lot of perfect splitters in this game. But, you see Trout's reaction. This splitter is literally perfect. I mean, really, really good stuff. And then here is Wade Meckler, who's got a cool story if you don't know. Grew up a huge Angels fan, and a huge Mike Trout fan specifically, wearing Mike Trout jerseys and bed sheets and fat heads on the wall and all that type of stuff. And, ends up playing on the team with his idol, which is pretty cool. And that's a ridiculous splitter. I mean, he's executing this pitch down so well. Whereas I felt like the forkball, like it was arguably maybe nastier at times, but he just like it was inconsistent. And that is very consistent. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's nastier because of the speed drop combo. All right, second inning now. His fastball has more spin than his slider. Yeah, I mean, he's never had any ability to spin a breaking ball whatsoever, and yet they've found a pretty good gyro shape for him. But also, like, that's what typically makes his fastball less impressive. Now, he's got the IVB up now, and it's definitely helping make his fastball play a little better. This is a nice play by Rojas, but this is only his second best play on the shortstop side of the bag of this game. So, you know, it's making a play up. I do feel like if he had real spin rate, you know, I think his ceiling could be even higher. And I don't really feel like I have a great feel for his ceiling now. I feel like the calculus has changed a little bit because that pitch right there, I mean, geez Louise. Look at the command on this. So good.
Another 1-2 coming to a good bat-to-ball guy in Walton.
I mean, Walton just trying to hang in there. He does hit this one pretty hard, and Pages does a nice job to run that down. But those first two splitters were freaking gross. And then, like, perfect sliders. Everything's competitive. Like, even that's a very competitive miss. Fastball up, and 100.6 mile-an-hour fastball, and he gets that sprawling play by Freddie. So that's how he got through the first two innings, extremely sharp, and now we're on to some stuff that we haven't seen yet, or at least I haven't seen yet. All right, first up is Madrigal, 97-7 down. I think this might be the play already. Then slider away, and then 98, they're setting up in. Yeah, here it is. Deflection, Rojas, bare hand cross-body throw, and gets him out. They call him safe initially. They challenge it. He's clearly out. He has the ball right there. He's not touching the base. This play is absurd. It's absurd for a lot of reasons. Like, did he not run? Is he not fast? But also, unbelievable bare hand cross-body throw. Like, and the split. Like, there was so much that happened here. Did he not run hard the whole way? No, he did. He was busting it the whole way. Dude, is Madrigal not fast? No, he's not fast. 34th percentile sprint speed. Wouldn't have thought that. You know, you usually think little guy, second baseman, contact hitter. He's got to have some level of speed. But I guess not. So, anyway, that is the first out of the third. And here is Logan O'Hoppe. He's going to start him with a slider for a strike. Beautiful. Dump it right in. Then another one. Gets the chase. I mean, the sliders become a legitimate plus pitch when it looked... In spring training or last season, it looked like just about the worst breaking ball, you know, that you could imagine as a starter right now in 2026. For a high-level pitcher, it just didn't match everything else, but now it does. 3 sliders, White Castle, see you later. Adam Frazier, another slider, there's a ball. 4-seam fouled off. He's had hip issues, Madrigal. That would explain it. I'm surprised because, you know, web gems like that, an underrated part of web gem life is that usually it's a slow runner. You know, back in the day, it would be like a Yadier Molina or something. You know, a guy would make a sprawling, crazy play. All right, so there's the first walk, first blemish of the game, really. And it's the 9-hole Frazier on a 3-2. Now he comes back to Neto. But yeah, the slow runner usually helps. Ooh, complete tear of the hamstring. Yeah, he'll never run the same again. Good call. Required surgery. So I think it's a little bit of a misnomer that you need high spin rate to throw a sweeper to this comment here. But you do have to be able to get on the side of the ball to some extent. And obviously, the more spin rate, the nastier. So it would be another contact pitch for him. It wouldn't be like a swing and miss pitch for Roki if he went to that. For me, I think sinker's going to come down the pike. That'll be the next adjustment for him, in my opinion. This is another nice play in the infield here by Mookie to end the third inning.
Fastball chopped towards the middle.
Little glove flip, short hop, and Rojas got some great hands, man. Just no panic in his game defensively. I mean, you're not expecting this flip to be bad, but instead of trying to go get it, he realizes it and checks it up and then catches it. So nice play. And we're on to the 4th inning. Mike Trout, second showdown here. Great at bat that first one. Little backup, top shelf slider for the 0-1. Right to the split now. He threw him a lot of fastballs that first at bat, but did punch him with the split. All right, so loses that one. Now swinging strike, fastball up. Also, I want to commend the Dodgers and Will Smith for this target. Yes, he does drop his hand eventually, but the fact that he keeps his hand up a lot longer. Like most catchers, the hand would already be on the ground. He keeps it up pretty long time, tries to hold it as long as he can, but he's so trained to go down. But try to hold it there a long time to give a good visual to Roki, and sure enough, what does he do? He executes. And I'm telling you, that's part of it. It really is. All right, so that's 2 strikes, and then here's a split, going to get him out. Actually hit very hard, but right to Mookie, so pretty easy play there. 109.8. You know, as nasty as this pitch is, Mike Trout controls the bottom of the zone. Like, that's his area. And that's why I hit that ball so hard. It's just, his swing is just built for that. All right, so he's out. And now we got Meckler again. Little backdoor slider. That's a nice feel. 99. That's up. 98. That's up. Slider again. So, I mean, also trusting his off-speed pitches and behind counts. Big issue with him last year when he was just fastball fork with a bad slider is the only pitch he could reliably control behind count was a fastball. So that makes you very predictable, and guys can swing at those, and his fastball shape was also not as great. So, like, everything was working against him. And it's all flipped. All right, so there's another walk. That one's to Meckler, and now here's Joe Adell. Slider strike. Also, another thing I want to give him credit for, he's been better with runners on first base than I would have expected. He executes all right. He's decently quick. I would have thought that would have been a problem for him, but it really hasn't been yet. And then a splitter, strike 3 to Adell looking. Adell tried to make a good take here, but this ball just never quite gets below the zone. Nice pitch. 3-pitch strikeout there. Slider underneath. Slider tapped foul. That's actually a really good take and a really good pitch. And now he's found some rhythm out of the slide step. Yeah, and then catches him looking on a fastball in. With 19 inches of vert. I mean, this is an absolute dart. He must be really spinning the ball a little more efficiently these last few games, like for real, because his spin rate's not propping it up. All right, 5th inning. Peraza. Ball 1. This is a good question to think about in the chat. Who's better, Sheen or Roki rest of the season? I think Roki's a little bit of the foolish answer, but it also might be the right answer. Chopper to third. I was well located in a 2-1 count. Okay, so you're going to throw a fastball. This might have been a sinker? No, but this is how he would use the sinker if he was to throw a sinker. Behind count, same-sided hitter. And this is another evolution. They couldn't trust him to locate in a spot here behind the count in a 0-0 game. Last year, they would have thrown him middle away with definitely a predictable four-seamer. Nothing else would be on the table, but certainly not the fastball being dotted inside, you know? Little chop piece. One out in the 5th. All right, here's Madrigal again. He got absolutely robbed by Rojas that last time. Splitter. Strike 1. Splitter strike 2. Going for it for the 3rd time in a row. Hangs that one in the middle, and now slider. Oh, and hangs that. Lucky he didn't give up a home run there. It's probably the worst pitch he's thrown yet in this game. Luckily, he threw it to a non-power threat, really. 99.5 at 20. It's a double, so man on second. One out. Here's Ohapi. Almost kills Ohapi there. There's a little moment here with it where he loses it for a second. 2-0, even though that's a good pitch. That's not losing it. And 2-0 slider. Again, though, not having to give in with a fastball. That's very helpful. Ground ball to third. Easy play there. That's out number 2, and it's Frazier who he walked the first time. Splitter away. What has Roki done to get so much better? So what he's done is 3 things. 4 things all at once. He stopped throwing his forkball as his primary off-speed pitch, edited his splitter grip into a more power splitter, but which is what you're watching for the most part now. This might have been a fork right here. He tried to go fork here, but he can control the harder splitter a lot better, so that gives him more ability to throw strikes with something other than his fastball. On top of that, that's filthy. That's another fork, I think. These last 2 pitches both were more of forks. Low spin, knuckle things, but those are gross. So he basically added pitches. He added a more controllable splitter, a much better slider. Like, his slider was really bad. Now it's pretty good. So he's got now 2 splitters and a slider that he can reliably trust and throw in good situations. So he's not as predictable just throwing his previously bad fastball, but the other part of it is now his fastball's gotten better. He's throwing about 1.5 miles harder. He's got an extra inch of induced vertical break, almost 1.5 inches to be fair to him, and that's a big deal. Every inch matters in 4-seam fastballs. But really, I say all of that technical mumbo-jumbo to say that he's feeling himself again. He's out there, and he's throwing the ball the way he wants to throw it. Right there, he gives up a leadoff hit in the 6th to Neto, 3rd time through now. But he's throwing it like he believes his pitches are going to go where they're going to go. So, I mean, look, even you want to dig a few layers deeper, they probably have, it's a holistic view now in these organizations, so they've probably done a whole bunch of different stuff with him in the training room, weight room, pitching coaches, you know, whoever's in his circle. Like, everybody's put their heads together on this, but somehow they've really gotten the train back on the tracks, and not just back on the tracks. They gave it a nice greasing to those wheels, and everything is flowing very nicely. So anyway, 6th inning, still 0-0 here. Him and Detmer's locked in a duel, and he's going through the order now for the 3rd time, which is something that would have been unthinkable not that long ago, to be honest with you. And it's Zach Neto getting a base hit, and now he's got Trout with a man on and nobody out, and he's got to pitch out of the slide step, which he's doing. Splitter down in, fouled off. Probably the pitch Trouty wants to hit. That's what he hit the last time. Now he's going to go 4-seam off of that. That's a perfect paint up away. So now he's 0-2. Here's the pickoff, which I've never really even considered before. Let's watch that from the side. Honestly, decently quick. I like that. And now he's going to punch out Trout looking on a fastball. So, ooh, the low freeze. So the only pitch down Trout's expecting is the split, or I guess maybe the slider, something off speed. So he sees something going down. He assumes it's off speed and it's out of the zone, because Roki's thrown him up with the fastball before this whole game, but now he throws the down heater and it's painted. So really good pitch. Really good pitch. Yeah, you can tell he feels so much more comfortable, and the confidence is much improved. I also think this is a fair comment, too, by Ron here. I think it helps with Showtime and Yama in his ear. I mean, anytime you can be around truly great players who have figured some things out, and those guys have figured a lot of things out, and you can relate to them culturally and as just genuine friends, it's going to help. Like, a lot of times it's just a conversation. You never know what verbiage will unlock a person's mind. Here's another look at that pickoff. You know, I often think back to conversations that in the moment you don't know how much they're going to change your life. Talking to a teammate about a strategy, or he puts something in a way that you've never heard before, and all of a sudden you're cooking with grease, cooking with gas all of a sudden, and it's like all off the strength of just one thing, one little line that tweaks your mindset, and now you're off and running. So I agree with you. Having those guys around, only a good thing. And there's another low freeze punch out. This one's on Meckler. So in this inning, it's a hit and 2 low freezes. Now, I don't think he was trying to do either of these, but that's what we call the happy accident, and that's absolute paint at the bottom. And now he's going to try to get out of this inning facing Adele. First pitch split, fouled off. You see the aggression, goes right to the split. That's also something that's important, being able to fight the aggressive approach. And then another split, actually a good bid for a hit, and a nice play over there at third. Splitter's also going to be a good ground ball pitch for him, particularly this hard version, although this might have been a fork. but
Ground ball.
he can use it as a sinker. So in a way, like I keep asking for the sinker. It's more of a runner that I'd like because the split's kind of like a sinker, just a really good sinker. All right, 7th inning.
Roki, Sasaki, and Reed Detmers. What a pitcher's doing.
Slider backdoor paint.
11. Donovan Walton leads off this inning.
Trout got frozen by 103 later from Enriquez. Oh my God. Also has a new strength training regimen. It's more individualized to Roki. Travis, the strength coach, said his old training regimen personally tuned one to him. I mean, they should have been doing this the whole time. That's nothing revolutionary. Every team should be designing everything individually for everybody. But that's good that they got that straightened out. As I talked about, there was probably a lot of cooks in that kitchen, but they finally seems like they've made some headway. Here's a split to Walton that he's nowhere close to. Holy cow. So some of these late in the game feel more like forks, but he's still throwing them 90. Like they have less spin rate and the movement's a little weird, but it's nasty. And you can tell he's fired up to pitch in this 0-0 game in the 7th. Splitter here. Ooh, he thinks he gave up a home run there, but nope, didn't hit that very good. Only 87-8, and that's 2 outs in the 7th, and this is going to be his last batter, Madrigal. So honestly, just a super dominant outing. Still throwing 98 here with 2 outs in the 7th. Pitch 95. This is pitch 96. Slider away, dotted. Now he's going to go for a good double kill. Splitter down. Just misses it, and then splitter down. And this time he's going to get it. I mean, just a ridiculously dominant 7 innings. Couldn't look any more different than he looked at the beginning of the season. He really couldn't look any more different. It's unbelievable. It really is. So we watched the start of it last night. I knew he was going to do good based on the way he looked in those first 2 innings. It's no surprise to me. But yeah, man. It's just like the strike rate. Everything is so incredibly better, much better. Look at the whiff rate. 48% on the splitter and 55% on the slider. So between the 2 main off-speed pitches, they just don't put him in play. That's 16 whiffs on his off-speed pitches. Fastball only got 1 whiff. I still don't think it's an unbelievable pitch, but I think that the added velocity and little touch of extra IVB will keep some balls in the ballpark because they'll get just under them a little bit more and they won't quite connect for home runs. Also, clearly, velocity matters. I mean, you don't want it to matter sometimes as a pitcher, but it does matter. And he's throwing 98. Like 98, you got to take that 98 mile an hour serious, even in today's day and age. All right, let me see what you got in the chat. A little help from the defense and a little help from the Angels lineup, but great performance regardless. Yeah, I mean, he could have given up 3 runs throwing the way he threw tonight, and I'd still be impressed. You know, just like it's night and day different when you watch the tape. All right, we got some thoughts on Brayan Bello getting demoted to AAA. What are my thoughts on him getting demoted to AAA? Look, it's been a tough go. Of course, he's had moments of success. But, I mean, yeah, he's pitched 61 innings and he's got a 6.34 ERA, and clearly he's disgruntled and not happy with how it's going. His recent comments about stop asking me about starting versus relieving. I'm just having a bad season. You don't declare your season one way or another in June. You know, you shouldn't at least. But, I mean, he must feel like he's pitching poorly, and he is. 6.04 expected ERA. There's absolutely nothing going right for him. So does he deserve to be demoted? Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like, he's probably not giving you the best chance to win. He's getting paid. Go figure it out and try to come back when you can help the team win. So I think it's fine that he got demoted. I also think that, once it becomes a media narrative, that's not going to go away right away. So it makes sense to pause that a little bit. At the same point, I don't love everything Breslow said either in the media about this situation, but Bello's searching for it. You know, he came in this year with this new death ball curveball pitch that he didn't have before. It's this one, the 6%er. He was throwing it in WBC. I was hopeful that this pitch would help him cure his whiff problems because even last year in a good season, This was last year in a good season, 3.35 and 28 starts. I mean, 16th percentile strikeout was where he was sitting last year. So I was already kind of like, yeah, you need to find more whiff, buddy. Like, that's not going to be sustainable over a long period of time. You've been on one team now for a little while. Everybody's seen you. You can see, like, it's not lining up. The success wasn't lining up with the underlying shit. And now you look at 26, and yeah, he tried to get ahead of it with this curveball, and it just didn't stick. He's only throwing it 6% of the time. He's gone back into sinker changeup mode, which have mirror image movement, which I think some guys can make it work with perfect command, like a Christopher Sanchez, but this is where being a righty and facing lefties and lefties having different types of swings really hurts you. Sinker changeup on the same movement plot versus a lefty is not ideal when you're right-handed, and I think that's a big issue for him. Also, he throws hard, but it's not anything special. I don't have to notice it. 94.8 on the sinker. So I don't know. They have a little bit of a dilemma here. At times he's shown plus stuff. At times he's shown good changeups, ability to command the ball, some good ability. But he hasn't really ever gotten there to the point where you trust him yet out there, and I think that's just the reality. So they have to reset. And there's a comment in here about good thing that he got extended, and it is true. He's paid, and now he's got time before he's up to get paid again to try to rework this. So if I'm him, I'm almost asking to go to the minors, especially in Boston. I kind of want to get out of there for a minute. It's not affecting my pay, and just reset and try to figure out who I want to be the next time I come back. So that's my thoughts on that. Which teammates gave you the best advice? So the guys that I came up with in the Cardinals system, John Jay, Daniel Descalzo, Alan Craig, this guy, Jim Rappaport, Shane Robinson, Chris Perez, who was a closer later for the Guardians, but mostly those hitters. Those guys probably gave me the best advice. Like, they really cared about me, and we all really cared about each other. And so, like, I thought that they did a great job being straight with me when I was really going through it in AA. And if you look at how I pitched in the second half of seasons, AA and AAA, my 2 years where I wasn't good, but I was much better in the second half, a lot of it was built on those guys helping me debunk what the hell's going on, because this is before the analytics and this is before a lot of things. And, I dominated like pretty good in A-ball and also obviously in college and stuff. And so it was hard, and I was having a hard time figuring it out. Plus the organization's telling you to pitch a style that you're not used to pitching. So those guys really helped me a lot to kind of figure out who I needed to be and what was tough about me. What's tough about facing me. And then you start to learn a little bit more. So it's always good to hang around with people at the opposite position of you. Like if you're a pitcher, hang around with some hitters and vice versa. All right, what else we got here? What's going on this year with Pete Fairbanks? Does this deserve a 2-second look? Yeah, I know we haven't watched much baseball yet tonight, but I think it deserves a quick look because Hav Moore's in chat. So he's got a 7.41 ERA, and meanwhile his expected ERA is a 3.18. So that's telling me that's pretty crazy, and he's giving up an insane amount of barrel city, and it's hits. Look at that. 92 mile-an-hour exit velo, too many walks, and ridiculous amount of barrels. And when you don't get any ground ball, you're never getting 2 outs with 1 pitch. I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. I've always felt like he had some of the best stuff in the league. To be honest, like this fastball has always been special, and he's got a death ball, breaking ball. But I also felt like, everybody's kind of used to it. And at some point, you're going to go through a tough stretch. You might just be going through a tough stretch. Let's see if it's more than if it's a couple bad games or what we got here. All right, so here's Fairbanks's game logs. We got 3 Ernies back-to-back days, so that hurts. 2 innings, 6 Ernies right there. Then another 3 spot versus the Dodgers. And then right now he's in a little bit of a moment too. 1, 2, and 2. So on the year, he's got 5 outings already where he's given up more than 1 run, more than 1 earned run. And that's all it takes in relief. That's all it takes in relief is crooked numbers. If those are all ones and you can take 8 runs off his ledger, yeah, he'd be fine, but he can't. And it's a little weird. Now, let me go look at his... let's go look at a few things here. Arm angle slightly down, and I feel like he is a true... I think the high angle is what's worked for him, so that's probably messed his fastball up a little bit, would be my guess. He's throwing plenty of strikes, and he's getting whiff. It's just like when they're hitting it, they're not missing it. What's different here? No difference in the active spin on his fastball from one year to the next. Pretty big difference in slider, and he's got more total movement in his slider now, which maybe is a bad thing. Not throwing any changeups now. Cutter looks about the same as before. So something's fundamentally changed a little bit with his slider. He's got more break this year with his slider, and it's just overall it's a bigger pitch. Yeah. This year, negative 8.6 and 8.5 to the left. Last year, it was only at negative 5 vertical break. Here's the other thing. It's the speed. There we go. So I think his slider's messed up. Throwing the fastball at the same speed. 97.1 this year, 97.3 last year, but check the slider. 85.3 last year. 82.6 last year, and it's a totally different movement profile. So maybe they're not pairing as well. And on top of that, he's using it more. Oh no, that's not usage. He's using it way less because it's messed up. And now he's trying to lean on this cutter pitch. So yeah, he started throwing a new pitch. I don't know. Arm angle dropped. Cutter became a thing. He got rid of the slider, which was doing really well. And now it's a totally different pitch with more movement and it's slower. So I don't know if he drove this or if the Marlins drove this, but it ain't working. And he's getting killed on pull air fly balls, 25.6. I bet you that's the worst mark in the big leagues. So I just told you all the metric changes there. But I also haven't watched him pitch much, so I can't tell you what I think about the way he looks or anything like that. This is just what the stats say. And yeah, like the slider's still effective, and yet he's not throwing it. So he needs to juice back up the slider usage and get rid of this cutter usage. This is the biggest mistake ever right here, apparently. Cutter's just doing horrible. 459 WOBA. Didn't even have it last year. If it ain't broke, don't fix it sometimes, right? 2.83 last year, 7.41 this year. So I bet you he throws more sliders moving forward. 74 viewers, only 19. Let's get those likes up, folks. Do you see any mental issues with struggling in the first? Because, that's the Bello thing. I'll get back to him in a minute. Alan Craig, he was a big guy, wasn't he? He was a beast. And then he went to the Red Sox, and that was it. But he was a beast when I was with the Cardinals. Those barrels are all leaving the yard. Slider might be too far apart now, although it still seems like it's getting results. Why is he throwing the cutter? Stop throwing the cutter, you know? That's the biggest thing. Stop throwing the cutter. All right, we're done with him. What else we got here in the chat? Ernie Clement had his 500th game today, had a home run and a triple. Love that. Love Ernie. Any chance we can watch Grant Taylor save for the Sox? Yes, we've been watching him too. He's been nasty this year. All right, we'll watch him right now. Grant Taylor, this is like our third time watching this dude. He's been legitimately impressive this year. 1 inning, 3 punches tonight. Player breakdown on Grant. 5 sliders, 3 curveballs. So it's the breaking balls, which are super nasty. And then he throws 100. He averaged 100 today, 99.9 with his 4-seam, and he threw sinkers. This is a great. He's got such a good arsenal. 2 good breaking balls, 2 good fastballs at explosive speeds. Everything's above average speed for their pitch type. So that's why he's just pure filth. Pure filth. Look at the curveball on the chart. It's almost off the chart. The blue down here. Ridiculous. And he's got distinct difference between the sinker and the 4-seam. I mean, his sinker's more like a regular 4-seam. His His four seam's almost like David Robertson-ish. It's not quite as cutty as that, but it's pretty damn good. All right, so who'd they play? They played the Phillies. Let's watch that. He's going to punch the side in the ninth. White Sox and Philadelphia Phillies. Grant Taylor, 3 punchies. Adolis, Sosa, Schwarber. Get some, fellas. Here we go. Ooh, 100.4 mile an hour sinker. Get that off my thumbs. Oh, we'll do it again.
There it is, El Bombe. I think I'm saying that right.
100 up and in. Check swing strike.
Yeah.
Now, four seam up. I would have thrown the same pitch. Good call there. Fouled off. Now to the slider. Good take at that, and he's going to punch him with 100. So mostly fastballs in this inning. And it makes sense that the four seam would get above him after those 2 sinkers let off the at-bat. This is just a screaming heater. Nice pitch. All right, here comes Sosa. Starts him with that same sinker middle in. Strike 1, slider coming here. Ooh, dirty.
Very serious yet funny. Old foul. Watch out, Andy.
Taylor is electric.
Round of the day. 0-2.
Slider fouled off.
Philadelphia. 0-2.
Yeah, I mean he's got that ride cut. A lot of organizations like the ride cut. Here's a banger. Hadn't seen one of these yet, so it's top shelf. Freeze me. See you later. Man, he was feeling himself after that curveball. I would have been too. Little smile as he walks away. Hell yeah. Pitching is fun when you have stuff like this. Curveball. Oh, Schwarber with the 0-0 sword. Curveball again. Oh, throw it a third time. He's going to go slider this time to finish the game. That was a nasty ninth inning. I can tell you, as somebody who's punched the side to end a game in the ninth inning before, you feel like a freaking boss. And that's what this guy feels like right now after he threw this final pitch. Like a boss. Just punched the side of the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber, 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Disgusting. Really, really gross. Gives up some contact from time to time. That's fairly hard, but you got to take this guy seriously now. I mean, sheesh. He's up there. He's one of the best relievers in the game. He's popping this year. He's probably a top 6, 7 reliever in the game this year. 50 strikeouts already. 100's the magic number. He's well on pace to get that. So that's a good thing. Really good thing. All right, can we watch my buddy that threw top 9 in that Phillies game? All right, we're taking lots of requests today, so why not? Brendan Moore, Chase Shugart. All right, first let me look up his Savant page. I know he's been up a little bit. Right? Yeah, 16 games this year, 2.21 for the Phillies, 20 innings, 23 strikeouts, .93 whip. So really good numbers. I haven't watched this guy yet. Sinker, cutter, sweeper, 4-seam changeup. Man after my own heart, 38-degree arm angle, a little higher than mine, but still. Let's see here. Ks are good. Walks are great. Contact's okay. Maybe he's got some freeze action in his game with that. So anyway, he pitched in the same game today. Here's Shugart today. 4 cutters, 4 sweepers, 4 sinkers, 2 fastballs, 1 changeup. So through it all, sinker 94.8. He's got some spin rate on his breaking ball, 2,800 on the sweeper. All right, let's watch it. Shugart, 9th inning. You got it. 15 pitches, 3 strikeouts. Oh, shocker. Sam Antonacci's going to walk. What a beast. 4-pitch walk is the first guy, Antonacci. Grant Taylor has Mason Miller-esque stuff and special arm. I don't know if it's quite Mason Miller, but it's special stuff. I mean, he's got two pro breaking balls as Miller's got the 1. So in a way, he's got better breaking shit. Heater, I'm not there yet, but it's a better shape. It's a more interesting shape, and it's almost as fast. So I can see what you're saying, but he's pretty damn good. Really good. All right, so 4-pitch walk to Sam, and then he's going to punch the side after that. Here we go. Cutter, 89 to Vargas. Top shelf strike. Four seam after that. Gets up in, and then sinker, probably backdoor. Is this a big part of his game? Oh, wow. Happy accident sinker up and in. Good challenge by JT. And that is the first out. Here is red hot Randall Grichuk. Ooh, nice cutter dotted away. I like that pitch a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna golf.
Not a very tall guy.
Still trying to figure.
Sinker coming here.
0-2.
That's a strike. So are called strikes a big part of his game? It's feeling that way. Sweeper away. And then swinging strike on a sweeper. This one's almost 2,900 RPM. Ooh, really good pitch. That took a 20-inch left turn right there. This was a really good one. This one felt like it stopped and then went left. Nice pitch. So back-to-back punchies there, and then he's going to punch Colson to end the game. Backdoor sweeper strike.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Change up, swing and miss.
Watch a great movie with Patrick Warburton called Hoovy.
Sinker front door down. And then he's going to end the game on a cutter. Backdoor cutter, paint. Oh, it's not even close, but they call it. That doesn't end the game, but it ends his outing. Jeez Louise, that ball's far off the plate for him not to challenge that. All right, so, I mean, he looks good. You know, it's got off to a good start this year. Shugart. I would say that at first glance, I like his sinker. It's very runny. And I like his cutter a little bit too, just mainly because of the way he commanded it. And then the sweeper's a good pitch too. So who knew? I had no idea. Never seen this guy pitch before. And I know he had pitched 41 games in the big leagues before. That's pretty rare that I hadn't run into him yet. But didn't watch him at all with the Phillies last year because he wasn't in a leverage role, I guess. But thanks. That was fun to check him out. That was fun to check him out. All right. Ms. 104, 103.7. Imai may be worth a look. I want to look at Imai. I think we got to look at Bryce Miller, guys. Bryce Miller's been a dude this year since he came back for the Mariners, and there's a reason why Castillo got booted out. But after today's start, he's now 2-0 with a 1.33 ERA in 5 games, 4 games started, 27 innings, 29 pitches, .78 WHIP. And let's not forget, 2024 was a pretty special year this guy had. .98. Chase was on the Pirates last year. Okay, that's part of the reason why I didn't see him then, I guess. Thank you. But he pitched an awesome game today against Detroit. He went 6 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts on 94 pitches. He's another guy who's a master of the 2 fastball approach. Although today, stuck with that 4-seam quite a bit. 4-seam had electric ride when he first came up to the big leagues. So 49 heaters, 19 splitters, 16 sliders. So he basically spammed those 3 pitches, sprinkled in 3 sweepers, 3 cutters, 2 sinkers, and 2 curveballs. Nice to have those in your back pocket. The fastball is a very intriguing pitch. He actually didn't have his 19 inches today at Vert. He had 18. But you're going to see this ball is going to really play when we watch Bryce Miller here. He only give up 2 hard hit contacts the whole game here. All right, so Miller versus Detroit. Yeah, Castillo's like a piggybacker now. Crazy, right? All right, Gleyber Torres. We'll just watch result pitches here because we're already an hour in. I want to cover a few more things, and I'm not going to stay up forever. There's that 4-seam I was talking about. Now, in contrast to Roki, right? So, like Roki, we watched him earlier. He's up to about 17 IVB on average. Occasionally, he gets to these 18 numbers over here, like Bryce. But Bryce lives at 18, 19, 20 inches of vert, and he's got much more spin rate too. Check it out here, 2,500 RPMs on his spin rate. So that ball is really staying up in a nice way, and I don't think they can see it very good. And that's why this ball really plays. Plus, he's got a pretty over-the-top slot as well, obviously. And he blows Gleyber away for the first out of the game. Now here's McGonigal, going to get him out with the slider. It was sliders, splitters, and 4-seamers basically in this game. There's a little pop-up to Emerson, who I'm due to watch him hit a little bit. And then he's going to get the very dangerous Dylan Dingler out here on a fastball. Kept it outside enough as Dingler's been pulling everything. He lines that one out to Randy. So that's the first inning. Here is the second inning. Kerry Carpenter does not miss too many fastballs middle, but this is 2,600 RPM at 97. And Bryce Miller gets these balls by you. He just does. Now a 3-pitch strikeout of Riley Green. Let's watch all 3 pitches. Splitter, swing and miss. Splitter, swing and miss. And he's got a very slow split relative to his fastball. I mean, these are 85, 86. So first at bat versus Riley Green, he goes 3 splitters, 3 strikes. That's nasty. And then here is Torque. He's going to punch him out with 98.4 and 20 inches of vert. Insane fastball. Really dominant first 2 innings right there. All right, third inning. Get these, can we get these likes up, folks? All you got to do is click the little thumbs up button. Would appreciate it. All right, there's the first hit of the game. Colt Keith, high slider. Smacked, and he's actually going to lead off with a triple. Lead off triple, and he's not going to score, folks. So first it's Veerling. He's going to infield pop him up with a fastball. Naylor is there. Then we're going to get a called strike 3 to Wenceel Perez on a split. He challenges and wastes that challenge. So that's going to be 2 outs. That was an emotional challenge. You want to do the job here. He didn't feel like he did the job, so he wanted to try to give himself another chance. And then a 3-pitch strikeout of Glaber. Let's watch all 3 as he gets himself out of the third. Heater, dotted down and away, strike 1. Cutter, up and away, swing through. And then 4-seam at the top, doors. So he punches his way through that inning. That's 98. This guy's really good. The Mariners have an embarrassment of starting pitching. That's why it's almost impossible for them not to win the division this year, I think. All right, fastball up, ball 4. So he walks McGonigal to lead off this inning. And then here's Dingler. Worked him away that first at-bat. That's kind of middle, and Dingler puts a charge into it. Both swings have been good. It's just super deep out there. Yeah, hit that 407 and got out. So fortunate there for Miller. Sometimes it's just tough to play in a park like this. And this is going to be a very long at-bat versus Carpenter. So I need to skip all the way forward here. And he's going to end up walking him after 12 pitches. So a great at-bat by Carpenter. Ooh, the runner would have been out. That would have been a strike him out, throw him out. Wow. But that pitch is a hair down. That's crazy. All right, so 2 on. Riley Green, 3 splitters the first time, goes right to it here. Oh, and is going to immediately get a ground ball. Double play to end the inning. So Riley Green's seen 4 pitches, all splitters in this in this game, and he's accounted for 3 outs. On to the 5th. Torkelson, fastball. Puts a charge into it, but it's off the end, I think. He's actually given up 3 or 4 pull side balls from righties that they just missed. As good as he's been, there could have been some damage here. Dingler twice, Torkelson there. Here's Colt Keith. High splitter strikeout. And now Veerling. 4-seam grounder. 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. 6th inning, 10-pitch at bat. He's going to end it with a called strike 3 to Perez. So Perez strikes out looking twice. Hates that one, but doesn't want to challenge it. And he would have been wrong again. He would have been wrong twice. So nice pitch there. And then here's Glaber, who he struck out the last time with a high heater, this time with the sweeper. No challenge. I think they might be out of challenges. Glaber protests a lot here, but nothing you can do about it now. He was right this time. All right, 2 outs, and it is McGonigal, who I feel like hasn't been as hot lately, but I could be wrong about that. Slider, chopper to first, and that's going to be it for his outing. Pretty dominant outing. Pretty easy outing, to be honest with you. He struck out Glaber 3 times. That's why Glaber was so mad. All right, let's watch the Bryce Miller delivery. I feel like he's got good rhythm and tempo in his delivery. This little move that he does at the beginning kind of primes him right there, and then he's just moving quick through it. He gets right to his balance in the drift. It's a very simple delivery with a pretty good front leg and all of that. So Mariners are very stocked at the pitcher position, and this guy's come back off the IL and just absolutely shoved. So pretty good for the Mariners. I see them running away with that division at a certain point. I really do with these pitchers that they have. Here are the starts since Miller's come back. 5 1/3 and 2 versus the Astros. 5 2/3 and 0 versus the White Sox. 7 strikeouts in that one. 5 2 versus the A's. 5 0 versus the D-backs. And now 6 0 versus the Tigers. So he hasn't faced anybody amazing, but the White Sox are a little tough at times. Actually, all the offenses here are actually not bad, except for Detroit. So, good stuff there. Good stuff there. McGonigal has not been as hot lately. You're right. Okay. Wasn't sure about that. Bybee 8 shutouts with only 3 Ks. Wow. Cade Morris pitching debut. Yeah, perhaps. Mets game just started. Misiorowski is still shoving. Here we go. We got Dipski. In terms of stuff and pitch profile, Edgardo Enriquez is the closest thing to Miller, just a poor man's version with way less command. But the stuff is there if he can figure it out. I agree. He's close. He is close. He's got a good breaking ball. Throws just as hard, pretty much. It doesn't have the same effect because it feels like Miller has a little bit better off-speed command in particular. But, yeah, I can see what you're saying. Break down Greg Weissert's outings this season. Has been having a down year so far. I mean, I know he got clipped for that grand slam the other day. I like Weissert a lot. I feel like the Red Sox have asked a lot of him in terms of leverage. Like, he's always coming in with guys on base, facing the other team's best player. Honestly, the numbers aren't bad, and I feel like I feel like he'll probably do better from here on out. I mean, the expected numbers are certainly better than the actual. He's at 396, 26 games. You can live with this for the first 2 months. I mean, it hasn't helped the team win, but I feel like, yeah, I mean, he could definitely play better than this. I talked to Greg a lot, so, I mean, I kind of know what he's thinking, and the biggest issue is, like, trying to figure out the lefties, of course. And a lot of times it comes down to how many lefties he's get exposed to. Here's his splits on the year. I mean, he's got a 1.86 whip versus lefties. They've tried to keep him away from him. But here's the big difference. He's just gotten bit by the home run ball. He's not a home run guy, career-wise. Not to this extent, at least. And he's gotten bit early with the home run balls. 5 home run balls for a pitcher, first of all, in his role, but also a pitcher of his pitch shapes doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's also weird because he's 75th percentile barrels, but given up 5 home runs. So, yeah, but yet he's given up 4.6 expected home runs. So that's a little odd. The home run ball's beating him. He's run into some home runs, 5 to be exact, in some big spots. So that's the biggest thing. Other than that, he looks kind of like the same pitcher to me. From a skill standpoint, let's see what the K and walk and whiff and all that is. 58% chase this year. That's actually good for East-West guy. 38% whiff, 55% K. Last year, it was worse last year. So in under the hood, in a lot of ways, he's actually functionally improved. I wouldn't worry about Weissert that much. The only thing you got to worry about with him is pitching too much, coming off of 2 pretty big workload years last year. But I would expect his numbers to normalize a little bit. Let me look at his game logs. Scoreless his last 2 outings. This last outing was particularly dominant versus the Orioles. 1 2/3, 3 strikeouts. So we got a 2 spot. You know what, guys? He's pitched pretty good lately. I think he's pitched pretty good lately. He just got kind of beat at the beginning of the year 1 and 2. So he gave 3 runs in his first 2 games, and then look, it's like scoreless, scoreless, 2, scoreless, 2, 1, 0, 1, score. I mean, he's been all right. He's been better than I thought when I went to investigate it a little bit. So Weissert in 2025 inherited 28 runners this year. To date, it's 22. See, I like Slayton in this role, but I think Slayton's hurt, right? Jane? Let me look up Slayton. Because the fireman is a no-joke role. Like, you really got to be rolling to do the fireman right. So Slayton has only pitched 12 games. His last game was May 5th. So, yeah, that's a big part of it. No Slayton. Oh, no, he just came back. Yeah. He just came back. Just came back June 5th. But he was hurt for a little bit, right? Yeah, he missed a bunch of time in April. And then maybe the roles got a little weird. Slayton was hurt, but is back. But then Whitlock went on the IL. Yeah, this is the problem. They didn't build a very trustworthy bullpen. So it's hard to manage. And like they've been taking on water from the very beginning of the year with the Red Sox. So my investigation is just like he's actually thrust into a role that he shouldn't be in. And I think you're right. Jane pointed it out. Obviously, she watches all the Sox games, so she sees it. Chapman, Slayton, Weissert, and Whitlock are the main 4, which is the most important thing on this team. Now they have Tommy up there, which might help a little bit. Coulomb has not been good. And you can't trust any of the other guys. So it makes him get thrust into all these big spots, and he's run into some home runs. I actually think he'll pitch better in the second half. That's my official prediction. Actually, it's 21 this year in 25 games versus 28 and 72 games last year. Well, there you go. Is Danny just washed? I mean, he might be. I don't know. He throws pretty dang. He's kind of got nothing. So... He was. There's a reason why he wasn't. Signed very easily this offseason because the underlying stuff's pretty yikes. When you look at Slayton. Anyway, what we got in the coffee cups for today. Oh yeah, the Cubs stuff. PCA, Ben Brown. There's a grand slam in here from Jordan, Ernie Clement. We talked about maybe looking at a little earlier on the pitching side. Yeah, Imai and Ben Brown. All right, let's watch some Cubs stuff. Then maybe we'll get some Imai in, and then I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how to do it. Thomas, we've watched Roki at the beginning of the show. He's at the top of the show, so maybe about 6-7 minutes in, you can head back. They just forgot everything but starting pitching for the Red Sox. Yeah, I know. You got to have a better bullpen. A lot of guys think that you can just create a bullpen out of thin air because sometimes you luck into that. Like even Chris Young this year with the Rangers. That's lucky. That's not skill. That's luck, fellas. Bazana watching soon. I would love to, but I need to carve out like an hour and a half to watch all those at bats. So hopefully this week we'll see. We'll see. All right. Let's. Yeah, I look at minor leaguers. Like on my coffee cups here. Here's my top 100 prospects. Today, Jefferson Rojas had a 3-hit, 2-home run game. Occasionally, if we have video, we'll watch like some hitter who had a good game or some pitchers. Today, Kyson Witherspoon for the Red Sox today, 5 1/3, 1 run. So we do. But I'm going to go look at some Cubbies stuff right now from today's game, particularly Ben Brown and obviously PCA. You know, I saw that PCA, I think on Fangraphs, is #1 in WAR now. NL position players for a guy that people are like he's washed and is overrated and should go home. Crazy. He's up to 791 OPS after today's game. It's still all the same issues, but there's such an electric, valuable player in there, both defensively and then like the ability to actually pop some balls out of there. So interesting. Anyway, here was the game today by the box score. Where are you, Cubs? Cubs. Here it is. Ben Brown, we're going to watch now. 5 1/3, 1 hit, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He's been awesome this season. And then at the plate, PCA 4 for 5, 2 home runs. So let's watch PCA first. because this is his best game in a long time, and then we'll swing back around to Ben Brown in a minute. So it was Cubs and Giants from the friendly confines. Let's watch all of PCA's at-bats. Roop should be a good matchup for PCA, actually. Perfect shapes for his bat path, in my opinion. Sinker sweep, sinker curveball thing. He loves low pitches. But let's see if he does anything better with swing decisions in this game or not. So first 2 pitches are strikes, and then he's going to get out. This is the only time he gets out. They elevate here, 4-seam. He's just under that. First at-bat pops up. Don't listen to the peanut gallery. You'll find a take for everything. It's true. It's just funny. People say some crazy shit like they don't realize how valuable a player like this is because they just don't like him or something. All right, cutter down the middle, swing and miss. Front door sinker strike. So man, Root pitched him tough here early.
And then that 2-seamer starts at the hip.
Change up coming here. Swings out a ball, but fouls it off. So it was a chase, and then here's a changeup, and that's also a chase. But you're never going to throw him out on a play like that. He's too fast. Good try by Adames. And if anything, if you're going to swing at a pitch like this, it's nice to be able to put it in play the other way. I was watching Cubs broadcast. They had a thing on PCA swing decisions. Bregman challenged him to have a plan out there. He needs to have a plan out there. I mean, that's the number one thing. It's the thing separating him from super duper stardom is the chase rate. It really is. All right, third at bat. Change up, home run but foul. Cutter, back door. Huge swing. Crazy reaction to have. I mean, just a really funny reaction to have. And then he's going to homer on this next pitch. It's a sinker. They try to go front door sinker. Here's the mistake here by the Giants. You can't get PCA looking because he's always swinging. And this is almost a happy accident, the high upshoot sinker. But he's swinging and he's on time for it. 105.4 at 35. So this was a mistake. They just picked the wrong guy. Obviously, that Roop is really good at this pitch and he strikes a lot of guys out on this. But he picked the wrong guy. He picked the guy who swings at everything. So this is just bad scouting, basically. PCA home run. Good for him. Nice job. He's juiced on that. See the swing from the side as he covers the top of the zone here. Very nice. Next at bat, he's going to get, tough matchup versus Miller. This guy's filthy. Sinker away ball. Slider shows bunch, so he gets him to 2-0, and now he's going to go ahead and get a sinker. Let's see what he does with it. Pulls it. Gets a predictable sinker and whacks it into right. Good swing there. Got himself in a hitter's count. I feel like he doesn't get himself into enough hitter's counts because he's swinging too much. So there's an out, and then here's the big moment. 2 outs in the 9th. He homers to tie it on a first pitch split off Keaton Wynn. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. First pitch split right down the middle. It's actually a really impressive swing. I know that it's maybe not the perfect location or anything, but what an electric moment at Wrigley, huh?
Today he's having 4 hits.
Good swing. I mean, I didn't even get a good look at it.
First one to PCA.
Cutter middle down and extended through it. Very nice. Swing hard in case you hit it.
2-2.
Yeah, he hit him with some sort of shaking my privates or some sort of hump move for sure. 100%. Yeah, I've watched Enriquez a lot. He's nasty as hell. But we'll see. PCA is like WC-40. Love him if he's on your team. Totally agree. Totally agree. So anyway, great game by PCA there. Now all of a sudden his numbers look great. We'll see if he can keep it up. Obviously, we already talked about it. It's the one thing that his issue is, and it's right here. It's called chase rate. 38.4% chase rate, 8th percentile. That's actually an improvement over last year, where he was 2nd percentile and over 41% chase rate. He fixes that. I'm not kidding. He could be MVP if he fixes that. He could be. As crazy as that sounds, he fixes that, he could be MVP. I don't know if he can ever totally fix it, but just mitigate it. If he can get to close to league average, that would be crazy. All right. Ben Brown, on the other hand, has been outstanding all season long. The Long Island product, Ward Melville. 2.93 expected ERA. And now on the season, he is at 57 innings with a .88 whip. 1.74 ERA in 18 games, 6 starts, and he's got a save. This guy might make the all-star team, and he's been in a mixture of a role. Pretty incredible stuff from Ben Brown. And the big thing for him has been adding a couple pitches to the arsenal, becoming less one-dimensional. So let's see what he did today. 38 knuckle curves, that's an outlier pitch. 24 four-seamers, also a tremendous pitch. And then 22 sinkers, which is something he didn't have before, and he mixed in 3 changeups. His velocity wasn't even his best, nor his whiffs. He didn't go as deep in the game. He didn't throw a lot of strikes in the game, but he's still really hard to hit, particularly with that knuckle curve. So let's watch Ben Brown get his outs in this one. Casey Schmidt is the first batter. Brown freaking shoved, according to AO 1876. There's that curveball. Such a good pitch. It's got speed, it's got tilt, and he gets the first out with it. Here is Rafi Devers, going to get him out with a curveball. Rafi loves breaking balls. Also, incredible defensive positioning. Oh, Seiya right into the wall. That hurt. That knocked the wind out of him, I think. So maybe he's not as far over as I thought. I mean, a little bit. He's a little bit to the corner. Man, he took a hard hit into that wall. I know they have a padding, but that wall does not move. There's no movement on this wall. It felt like he was going to fall here, and he made a decision to kind of like just embrace it. And he got the hat and the glasses knocked off. Hopefully Seiya's okay, but great effort. You love to see it behind your pitcher. Great effort right there. 2 outs in the first. Next up, Luis Arise. He's going to get a hit on a fastball. That's what he does. Little laser in the gap. Only going to be a single, though. Seiya. So Seiya has run a country mile in the last 2 batters. He went all the way to the line, and now he catches this ball all the way in the gap. That's unbelievable to think about. So Suzuki on back-to-back plays has gone all the way over here. That's not even correct. All the way over here, and then all the way over here. Back-to-back plays. Getting his steps in, I guess. All right, man on first. Willie Adames. I think he liked that swing, but that's where Wrigley helps you out. It bows out a little bit in the corners. 97-5 at 31. Seiya has to go field another ball, and that makes 3 outs in the first. All right, second inning, 8-pitch at-bat with Lee. 4-seamer at 96 after it looks like it really rained. Fly ball to left. Kelly is there. I mean, Happ is there. 1 out. And then there's Eldridge. Let's watch this whole at-bat versus Eldridge so we can watch both of these guys. 3rd lowest OPS I just saw on that stat. All right, knuckle curve down ball. Here's a sinker. Fouled off under that. That's telling you to throw a 4-seam, but he's going curve here, and then he'll go 4-seam after that. Curveball pulled foul, and then 4-seam up. Nice pitch. Now he's going to go ahead and hit somebody. Matt Chapman, first pitch off the elbow. And then a 3-pitch strikeout of Eric Haas. There's that curveball. Nasty. Filthy curveball. All right, that's it for the second inning. Third inning. Starting off with Drew Gilbert, going to punch him with that curveball. That curveball is such a plus pitch. It's so nice that he can throw it as his primary, but not overexpose it to like above 50% or anything. Sinker down into the righties. Nice pitch there to Schmidt.
Mental work done for him as well.
3-0. And ball
4-pitch walk to Rafi. And now he's going to get a rise out with that curveball. Good swing, but just punches it in the gap. PCA's there. That's it for the 3rd inning. 4th inning. Willie Adames, curveball coming. Off the end, floats it to center. PCA's there. One out there. Now sinker to Jung-Hoo Lee. I'm telling you, the 2 fastballs has been the evolution of the game this year. Obviously, some guys can make it 3 if they have a hard enough cutter. But the ability within the same at-bat to use both and understand when to use both, it's taken the whole league by storm. And, I mean, just think of Hunter Brown a couple years ago, made the adjustment with Houston and went to the next level. Now it's Ben Brown. What do they have in common? Alex Bregman on the team. Talked about Bregman challenging PCA to have a plan. I guarantee he has a hand in this Ben Brown, too. All right, foul tip sinker. That's why you sign Alex Bregman. It's not just for his own stuff. He legitimately elevates his team, which is very rare. This is what we call a throat cutter sinker. Up and running towards the throat. Nice pitch there. Matt Chapman cannot hold up. Oh, there was my guy Boog. 2-2 knuckle curve to Haas. Roll over to Bregman. There's that man.
To Gilbert.
Knuckle curve, see you later to end the 5th. Gilbert's punched out on that pitch twice, and now he's going to get one more batter in the 6th, and then they take him out so they can have somebody else face Devers. Sinker in. PCA didn't really need to do that, I don't think, but he does end up making a sliding catch. Yeah, he hesitated a little bit and then recovered. So there's Vitello, not looking thrilled. But Ben Brown, he's awesome. He's got a shot to be in the All-Star game. I do think that the sinker has been the game changer for him overall. You know, you just look from 25 to 26. We've gone over this before, but here's the pitch usage in 25 from Ben Brown. It's all fastball, curveball, right? They're both great pitches, but there's no variation there. And as nasty as they are, again, 2 pitches ain't going to play very often in today's game. Now he adds in the sinker, ups the changeup a touch, but especially the sinker. And that's been the game changer for me. I know it's not a big whiff pitch, but now it's taken the usage down on his 2 primaries quite a bit, accentuating their effect. And this is something that I've talked about for years, and for years people didn't agree with me, but now it seems like everybody's coming around to understanding that not every pitch has to be your best pitch to serve a role in your arsenal. And yeah, look at the run value. The sinker actually is doing better by run value than the 4-seam. So tremendous adjustment there by Ben Brown, and really the whole league. And I'm just going to give Bregman credit without even knowing. So pretty wild stuff this year. And me and Mitch and a bunch of other guys thought Ben Brown was a reliever for sure, and now I think he's a starter. So pretty impressive stuff. All right, I'm not going to do much more. I'm pretty tired. It's kind of funny they took him out to avoid seeing Devers the 3rd time, and then Caleb Thielbar immediately gives up a homer. Maybe we'll finish with a little Misiorowski. Will you fill out your all-star ballot on stream? Yeah, sure, totally. That'd be great. I've heard some certain people say that his curve is unusually successful given its movement is similar to a typical gyro slider. It's good because of when the break happens, or better at hiding spin. Really good question here, Keys and B's. And I don't know if I know the answer off the top of my head here. You do see the curveball shape here. It's not particularly depthy. It does have some depth. 3 inches, but it's not. It's the speed. It's the combination of the speed. So I would agree. It plays a little bit like a gyro slider. Let's see how much spin and what the spin direction and everything is going on his curveball. Yeah, I mean, 33% active spin. This is a glorified gyro slider. Good call. Glorified gyro slider. I would call it more of a death ball Speed's good. He has a touch more top spin on it, I would say, than your typical gyro, and that's driving a little bit of why it's probably called a curve. But yeah, it's a little bit of a drop, but it doesn't have a huge hump on it, if any hump at all. And yeah, it does resemble a gyro a little bit more. So really good pitch, good call. Louis Varland has been lights out. Spencer Miles has been a good guy. Yeah, we've watched these guys a bunch this year. We watched Spencer Miles a bunch and Louis Varland. I think Louis Varland is right there with Mason Miller for best reliever in the game this year. So thanks for the comment, and we are in lockstep on that. I think the varying fastballs is one reason for Bryce Elder's voodoo. Definitely. It all helps. And then he's got the cutter as well because he's got a good slider. He needs to tunnel something to get people to chase the slider even more. So that's been the case. All right. Oh, yeah. I wanted to quickly... Okay, we're going to do two more. I'm tired, but we have to put in the two more. We'll watch a little bit of Misiorowski in a minute, who seems like he's having no problem with cores. I want to run through Tatsuya Imai real quick because we haven't seen him in a while. And I'm just curious to see what we got from Tatsuya Imai. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, 92 pitches. So good enough to earn the win today, but I don't know. I don't know if this is a good or bad outing. Let's see if he stuck with the one heater, if he threw more than one type of heater. 52% slider, that's the reverso. 32 four-seamers, 6 sinkers, 6 splitters. So trying to be a little more diverse. This is the first time we've really seen a 4-pitch mix out of Imai. He threw a ton of first-pitch strikes. That saved him. But I just get the sense right now that his stuff's not really that good. This is the team that he has beaten a few times, interestingly enough, is the A's. So I'm going to run through Imai really quick. Let's see here. All right, first inning, a hit on a fastball. Also, we've noted how early in games he seems to be throwing with 0 effort, and then he puts a little more charge into it late when he gets comfortable. Let's see if that happens again today. There's a reverso.
And makes the play for the first out.
That's a little reverso fly out.
Imai using that whole clock.
Oh yeah, Morris was the other guy too.
He threw the bat away thinking it was going to be ball.
So this is a swinging strike of Kurtz on a reverso slider.
Imai using that whole clock.
And we got
Kurtz didn't think so. Let's see. What do we got, folks? Oh, I don't know. That's borderline. That's about as borderline as it gets. That's the furthest forward. I don't see a wrist break, but the bat's in front of the plate. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. All right, next up is another strikeout. So first inning, it's a hit and a fly out and 2 strikeouts. A little reverso slider there to Rooker. So pretty impressive first inning. Here's the second inning. It's going to be a leadoff walk. This has been an issue. And then a strikeout on a fastball up, which I think he's going to have good VAA with that low slot. Blows this by Bolte.
Got him.
Oh, by you.
Off the bat.
Then first pitch hit here to Geloff. Ooh, it's a bunt. Put in your pocket. Good bunt. Great bunt. I saw the league's batting over 500 on bunts this year. Maybe a few more guys should bunt. I don't know. Maybe not. McNeil just misses that reverso. Flies it out. So 2 on, 2 out, and a 6-pitch at-bat with Hernaiz. Let's watch it. Reverso ball. Here's another reverso. I love calling his pitch the reverso. 1-1. Now fastball 95-7. Oof, that's a nasty pitch. Slider. No. Slider. Strike. Slider. Ooh, nice reverso there for the strikeout. He actually pitched with really good conviction, I thought, here with the 2 on. And 2 out. All right, third inning. First pitch, first batter out. Cortez on the reverso. Little rollover.
Fewest games played for any player not so besides just
Shea Bangaliers is going to strike out on the reverso slider.
There's that slider.
This is a little bit more of what I envisioned when I watched him in Japan, but I know he gives up some runs in this game. Ooh, almost goes front door paint at 97 to Kurtz, but doesn't get it. Ooh, and now Rooker's going to get him on an 0-2 slider.
Hit sharply past Isak
Paredes wanted no part of that.
Brent Rooker got an 0-2 games. Walked his
Ooh, and then Soderstrom's going to get him on this fastball up the middle. So a nice little 2-out rally here to score runs off of Imai.
For the A's first.
Better than going to Stanford there in Palo Alto.
Sinker off the knee. This has been a rough inning. Bases loaded, and then another walk. So he walks in a run here.
That's down. That'll be a base
Nowhere close. And then he gets out of it by striking out McNeil.
He got him.
That one looked like it went left. Yeah, it did. That one went left a little bit. So that was just a regular gyro here. Not a real reverso, this one.
He got him.
Strikeout to end the third. Fourth inning.
5 early runs.
Hernaiz.
After 3 innings. This one passed
Slider on the ground. Altuve, 1 out there. Here's a hit to Cortez. This is his 3rd time through the order. Still looks like most of the time he doesn't even try to throw hard until he gets like 2 outs or something. All right, so hit there, and then Bangaliers. Gonna pop up the reverso off the plate in on the first pitch. Thank you very much. And now here's Kurtz, who's gonna get out on a first pitch heater. Perfect location, gets it there. Just enough for him to not clip him out the center. That's such a dangerous game, but he fit it in there nice. 102 at 32, he's wondering. It's a graveyard out there to center. All right, Rooker's going to punch out on the reverso. Look at that thing down and in. That's so gnarly. Everybody sees the spin, and right around here, they literally think the pitch is going to be over here. And then look where it ends up. In here. I mean, it's just crazy. I really like this pitch for whiff and just for confusion, especially to the righties. All right, out there. I mean, I like it to both, actually. There's another one. Slider popped up. Imai wants to catch it, and he's going to catch it. Oh, I love it. They never let anybody catch these. He's looking around. Is somebody going to come get me? Somebody going to come get me? All right. And then a called strike 3 to end his outing at 95, dotted away. Let's watch this whole last at bat.
Perfect inning of the game on the heels of Cade Morris.
Slider down. Slider down, and fastball dotted away. I actually think he looked a lot better in this game minus the 3rd inning. At times he threw some really nice fastballs. So that was fun to watch. Maybe he's starting to get his footing under him a little bit. I do think that he's going to have to evolve a lot more, but I wouldn't put it past him after what we've watched Roki this year. But he's going to have to get better, but he's super athletic. The slider's interesting. It's weird. Today got 44% whiff on it, so you can't discredit it that much. I think he's got 99 in the tank if he really wants it. Doesn't look like he's going for it. I wouldn't want him starting games for me right now if I were trying to win, but another guy I'm not going to give up on, and I like Weird. Weird's generally good, so let's see it. Let's see it continue to develop. I like his demeanor. Looks much more comfortable. All right. One more thing to look at, and it is Misiorowski. Ooh, Colorado just scored. So Miz has pitched 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run not earned, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 60 pitches only through 5 innings. That's the other thing. Like, he's not really walking anybody. He's attacking everybody so much that it's just crazy to watch. All right, player breakdown on Misiorowski. He's averaging 101.6 in this game. Holy cow. He's throwing 73% fastballs, 12% sliders, 7 cutters. So now he's doing both. 7% changeup, 4 changeups, which he hadn't been throwing. Now he brings that out, and only 1 curveball. So maybe just cores, they told him to bang the curveball. But the velocity is actually up today. Up today, 1.7 miles an hour, and he's 78% first pitch strikes. He's on such a unconscious roll right now. He doesn't even know what's going on. All right, we'll watch every pitch. We'll speed through it. Brewers, Rockies. I'm sure he's going to keep going, but we'll watch what we can, and then I'll probably say goodnight. All right, here is the Miz in Coors Field Miz.
Just referencing a moment ago.
Starting with straight gas. For some reason, McCarthy wanted to swing 2-0 off the plate and gets himself out. Thanks. So you can't even look at the metrics really in Coors because they're all going to be jacked up. That's only 12 vert. He's much better than that. Anyway, 1 out. And here is Freeman, 102. And now 93 mile an hour slider. And now 102.7. Chopped to second base. So that's 2 up, 2 down. And here is Rumfield, 102.8. He decided he was swinging when he walked up to the plate. And then 102.1. And he's going to roll that one over to second. So, very easy first inning, albeit no strikeouts yet. Second inning, Hunter Goodman, 101.2 dotted away, 102.6. Dotted away. Those 2 first pitches are unreal and unfair. And now he's going to try another one. Pulls it a little bit further off. Not uncommon to pull your 4-seam fastball at Coors just a little bit. Not uncommon at all. And that's 103 for his first strikeout of the day. 103. Are you kidding me, dude? Gas. Goodman's nowhere close to that. Ooh, we got that sunshine glare going on at Coors. That's the first out of the second. Here is my guy, Troy Johnston. Really late on that one. And now he's going to speed himself up and get a hit. Good job, Troy. He was so direct. And honestly, it shouldn't have been a hit. It just hit Miz in the leg, and it was a hit. All right, so he gets on. First pitch out here to Tovar. Ooh, should be 2. 1 and 2, double play. So Miz getting double play to get through the second. Third inning. Edward Julian. 101.5. Fouled off. Dotting 103 is such BS. I know, he's unreal. 101.9 inside ball. 103 inside ball. So yeah, now he's pulling his fastballs again. I mentioned that's very common at Coors. A lot of guys pull their 4-seam. Ooh, here's a 100 mile an hour cutter. Oh wow, what is this pitch? And are you kidding me? 99.6 cutter? Is this the fastest cutter ever thrown? That pitch was unreal, and he hadn't shown one yet, and then he unleashes it on 3-2. Nobody can adjust to anything that's that fast and moves that much. That is ridiculous. Sheesh. All right. Next. Curveball strike. 103.7. That might be the fastest pitch of the season. It says 104 on the gun. Are you kidding me? Another yank job, but... Yikes. Now 102.9. Yeah, his velocity is insane in this game. Now, the thin air will give you a half a mile an hour oftentimes. That's probably what we're seeing. But that's just insanely fast. That's 103.4. He can't get ready fast enough. He's too late. The ball's just there in a blink of an eye. Let's watch him try to get ready here. I mean, he just can't, and then he's going to put a slider in play. And that was a hanger right there, but again, you're not going to have your feet under you a little bit because you're so sped up. So flies out to Chorio, and then a 1-pitch out here to Sullivan, who swings at a fastball at the top at 102 and pops up. So he's just incredible to watch. There's nobody quite like him right now. All right, 4th inning. Clase likely has the fastest cutter. Okay, probably over 100. Yep, and then changeup here. This is a changeup. We don't see a lot of this from Miz. Actually, pretty decent swing on that. Flies it out to Bowers. All right, here is Freeman. 101.3 foul. 101.2 strike. He's just pouring strikes in. 102.5. And then the slider. Good luck. Have a nice day. All right, who's next? Rumfield. Change up first pitch ball. He's just having fun out there now. Fastball in. Watch your lips. 96 cutter with upshoot. It's going to be a walk. So 4-pitch walk here to Rumfield, and that's going to bring up Hunter Goodman. 4-seam dotted. Nice pitch. Slider down. Easy rollover. This is a good comment too. Thanks, Marcus. I think you're right. Changeup's like 92, 94. I think he threw one at 90, but like 92, 94. All right, 5th inning. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. He's getting tired. Oh, no, back up to 101.3. I was going to say, I don't think he had thrown a fastball under 100 prior to that. Here's an even 100 on 2-0. And Troy kind of beat by that. Grounds it to short. Easy play there. One out there. Here is Tovar. Double play the last time. 101.3 up, fouled off. Slider coming here. Foul tipped. 4-seam coming here. Pulled. And then he's going to punch him with 102. The black. Oh, it's not a strike, but my goodness gracious. Look at this pitch. Jeez. My God, he's crazy. All right, Julian. 4-seam up ball. Cutter middle. 4-seam in ball. And then here's a hit. Nice job. Smacks it the other way. Honestly, probably an error. Shouldn't even be a hit. Maybe that was an error. That was an error. That's how they're going to score their run, huh? So he gets on base because of that error. Here's Karros, who was super late the last time. Starts him with the slider. Here comes the fastball. Immediately up 0-2. Yeah, error. I figured that. 101 ball. 102-1 on the corner. Just misses. Yep, just misses. Good call. And then this is going to score the run. 92-7 goes with it the other way. Gets it in there past Frelick. So the Rockies do get on the board right there. And now here's Sullivan. 101-1. Here's a 97-mile-an-hour cutter. Ridiculous. That's going to be a strike. 0-2. 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and then 101.3-mile-an-hour fastball for the called strike. So that's the Miz through 5. 1 unearned run, averaging over 101 on the heater in this game. Almost unfathomable. And yeah, that's it for now. I'm sure he's going to keep rolling as this game is still ongoing. 2-1 in the 6th. Mets have an early lead on the Padres, 1-0. Dodgers 4-1 in the 1st. Putting a hurting on the Angels. Wow, it's actually 9-1. Kashanwitz, geez, got 1 out and gave up 7 earnings. Then Suter came in and gave up 2 more. There's home runs in this game by Shohei and Pages. Shohei's 2 for 2 in the 1st inning. Shohei 2 for 2 in the 1st inning. OPS up to 947. I guess this means we should just at least see what happened here. In the Freeway Series. Angels, Dodgers, Yamamoto, he pitched. He actually didn't even have a great 1st inning. Gave up a run. But here's how it went for Kashanwitz. Single. We don't even have the angle yet because this inning's still going. Infield single. Pages homer. Ryan Ward double. Just looking at all the extra base hits now. Ooh, that ball's well hit. 101.4 in the gap. And then Suter came in and Shohei clicks him for a homer. Left on a 2-2 sinker. 110.4 at 23 for Shohei. And yeah, the Dodgers are up 9-1 in the 1st inning. So kind of crazy. Really, really kind of crazy. All right, let me hit the scoreboard, and then I'm going to do probables, and I'm going to say goodnight. You guys have been awesome again tonight. Thanks for hanging with me on the night streams. I know it's not as crowded typically as Baseball and Coffee, but pretty fun stuff. Throw me a like if you're here. I could really appreciate that. I'd really appreciate that. All right, here's the scoreboard. 2-1 Brewers over the Rockies in the 6th. Mets up 1-0 over the Padres in the 3rd. Dodgers up 9-1 at the end of the first. Here are the Yankees and Red Sox were postponed. Here are all the finals from today. Mariners beat the Tigers 4-0. Royals 3-2 over the Twins. Cubs 3-2 over the Giants. Cardinals 6-5 over the Reds. A lot of one-run games. Blue Jays 6-4 over the Orioles. White Sox 6-3 over the Phillies. Astros 13-2 on top of the A's. Marlins 4-3 over the Rays. Braves beat the Pirates 6-3. Nationals beat the D-backs 6-1. And Guardians shut out the Rangers behind Bybee, who we didn't watch, but he was really good. 6-0. Here are your Sunday matchups, and I will see you guys on Monday. Bubba Chandler, Bryce Elder from Atlanta. White Sox, Phillies, Tyler Gilbert, who actually threw a no-hitter for the Diamondbacks in like his second career start, if you remember. And Aaron Nola, who has pitched a little better lately. We'll see tomorrow. Red Sox, Yankees, good matchup tomorrow on the bump in the day game. Rangers, Suarez, Cam Schlittler. Orioles, Jays, good matchup as well here. Boz and Gosman. Mariners, Tigers, Luis Castillo back in the rotation, I guess, for now. And Jack Flaherty. Rays, Marlins, Griffin Jacks, and Sandy. A's, Astros, Gage Jump, third career start, and Mike Burrows. Royals, Twins, Cameron Prelip. Reds, Cardinals, Rhett Lauder, Michael McGreevy. So that's some two pitchability guys there. Guardians, Rangers, Cantillo, and DeGrom going for win 101. Brewers, Rockies, Drohan, and Freeland. Nationals, D-backs, Cavalli, and Soroka. And Angels and Dodgers, Soriano, Sheehan. That should be a fun one. And then we got Mets, TBA, and Randy Vasquez. And then our final game of the night, NBC will be covering this one. I wish I was there, but I'm not. It is Giants, Cubs. McDonald, Jameson, Tyone on Sunday Night Baseball. So that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I enjoyed doing it for you guys and with you guys. I will see you guys. I will see you guys on Monday. Enjoy your Sunday. And I'm going to try to get my Haiku plays recorded tomorrow. I finally figured out how to maybe do that. So that's about it. Let's go Knicks. But I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great night, everybody. Adios. See you guys later.